Since 1909, Hargrave Military Academy has been developing young men into leaders of character, prepared for lifelong success. Let's take a closer look at the campus and facilities. Camden Hall is the hub of the Hargrave campus. It hosts dormitories on the top 2 floors, classrooms, the military office, which is the heart of our residential life program, and the Davenport Administration Center, which has offices from the President's Office, Registrar, Business Office, Academic Dean, Development Office, Chief of Staff's Office, and the Admissions Office. The Academic Learning Center is a designated space to support cadets' success in their academic endeavors. Cadets and classes use the space for studying, group projects, workspace, and study hall. Also online learning support and academic support specific to the needs of each cadet. The Landon Davenport Science Center, the home of Hargrave's CIS program, as well as all of our science labs, the Distance Learning Center, and the Information Technology Department. Hargrave Center for Leadership and Ethics is the heart of our character and leadership programs. Hargrave is the only high school in the state of Virginia certified as a National School of Character. The Owen R. Cheatham Chapel is the heart and soul of Hargrave campus. In addition to hosting important events like graduation, baccalaureate, and award ceremonies, the chapel hosts twice weekly chapel services and special events like Spiritual Emphasis Week and concerts throughout the year. The John D. Smith Dining Hall may well be one of the most popular facilities on campus. Teenage boys love to eat, and our food services team works hard to offer our cadets fresh, nutritious, and delicious offerings, 3 meals a day, 7 days a week. The dining hall also hosts community gatherings like advisor dinners, awards banquets, and a multitude of holiday meals. The Wilmarth Game Room is the perfect place for cadets to fill their downtime with some fun activities and make some memories. Cadets have access to ping pong, pool tables, foosball, video game systems, TVs, and vending machines. It's the perfect place to take a break and relax. As a boarding school, the dormitories, or barracks as we call them in the military model, are the real home on campus. Students typically room 2 to a room. The dorms are a safe, clean, and secure place for our cadets to reside during their time on campus. The military office is the hub of our residential life program. Cadets can come to the lounge and hang out or watch some television, check the daily uniform and schedule on their information board, and meet with the commandant, the dean of students, or check in with their TAC or cadet leadership. Hargrave is home to 2 military-style obstacle courses. Each course offers students unique physical and mental challenges, along with a little fun. And it doesn't take cadets long to learn that the key to success is teamwork and perseverance. The climbing tower offers cadets an opportunity to practice their climbing and rappelling skills. The reward for success is a magnificent view of the Blue Ridge Mountains at the top and a sweet ride back down. Hargrave's newly renovated weight room is the perfect complement to our vibrant athletics department. Here, cadets can find everything they need to get bigger, faster, and stronger, and it's overseen by trained coaches. The Simpson Parade and Soccer Field hosts the Tigers soccer program. It also serves as the parade field for the academy, where cadets can practice their marching and drilling skills to show off to their parents and proud guests on parade days. The Dick Dyer Field is home to Hargrave's football program. Friday nights in the fall, the Hargrave football team takes the field against teams from around the state. The historic Walter Davis Gym is home to the prestigious Hargrave basketball program. Hargrave's respected postgraduate basketball program is a source of pride for the academy, having produced over 28 current NBA players and scores of Division I basketball players. Having a top-tier postgraduate program attracts a steady stream of college coaches to watch our teams play, and cadets have the opportunity to compete at every level, from middle school through postgraduate. Hargrave's basketball teams pack the gym with excitement each week during the basketball season. The Grant Gym is the site of many events at Hargrave, including sports practice during inclement weather, basketball practices, marching and drill, the twice-a-year Hargrave blood drives, and the Winter Carnival. The Onishi Davenport Aquatics Center, ODAC for short, is home to Hargrave swimming and diving teams, as well as a U.S. swim team. Cadets also use the pool for training exercises, water polo, water safety training and classes, lifeguard instruction, and scuba classes, among other programs. In addition, the ODAC's open to the community for use for swim lessons, water aerobics, and more. The Landon Tennis Center is home to the Hargrave Tennis Program. Cadets have access to its 6 lighted courts. It's a USTA certified tennis facility along with a hitting wall. The Rogers Fuller Baseball Field houses the Tiger Baseball program. Each spring, the Tigers take the field in a competitive private school league. Batting cages and other amenities provide all the tools young players need to develop their skills. To learn more about how Hargrave can help prepare your son for a lifetime of leadership and success, contact our admissions office at 1-800-432-2481 or email us at admissions@hargrave.edu.
The engine is starting up.
For launch. GC. Go. Guidance. Go. Fido. Go. Prop.
Go.
GNC. Go. Max.
Go.
Eagle. Go. Ecom.
Go pending final steps to cabin link check.
3, 2, 1.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us? Can you give us a sign?
Welcome to the Rift Nation Network, the RNN, putting a slide in your glide and a dip in your hip. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe. With shows throughout the week, you can find us at Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Everything you could want, everything you can need right here, right now. From the paranormal to the supernatural. From comedy to the spiritual. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
It's showtime, folks!
Podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Good evening, travelers and those alike. Happy Easter, or whatever your holiday may be. Welcome to the Orion Effect. I am Ed, the Hitman Odell.
And I am Rhonda Harris.
And we're back at you again, right
Yes.
here, right now.
Yeah.
This show is brought to you tonight by GOS, Ghosts of Stanton or Staunton, Virginia. Check their tours out today. You can go and get your tickets for weekend, Friday, Saturday, and possibly even Fridays. You can get private tours and personal tours. Tickets are only about $12 a person. You cannot beat for the price. And if you want to do multiple tours, you can do that as well through that evening. So just check out Ghosts of, we say, Staunton here, but it is, we actually say Stanton, but it's spelled Staunton. So
I was going to say, you said we say Staunton. I was like, no, you say Staunton.
yeah. Well,
We do not.
yeah, I speak it the way it's spelled, and that's what gets me every time. But so if you're going, please don't go look for Stanton. Look for Staunton, but it's pronounced here Stanton. So we want to thank Marty and them all there at Black Raven and all those affiliated with GOS and all those affiliated with such. It has been a long week. It's been a long weekend. Hopefully, you've all had a magnificent, happy Easter. I do not have a hit list created for tonight. I do not.
Thank you, everybody who joined last week.
Pretty much.
And they joined this week. And they joined any week.
That's right. And we love the fact. So, you know what? I'm going to shut my mouth for a few minutes. Hey, go do your thing, Rhonda.
Hello, Crossover Paranormal Society.
Hey, welcome.
Ashley Herndon, Michelle Kleckler Caps, Chris Fox Roden, Cindy Weghorn, Lisa Augier. So thank you so much for joining us on your, Sunday, your Easter, or your Monday if you're not here.
That's right. I'm also going to add, we are also aware, and this is interesting because I never thought about it before, they're having WrestleMania on Easter night. So if you are a wrestling fan and you're here, thank you. We appreciate it.
You're doing double duty over there. You got one on, one on.
Yeah, I know. There are some people who are probably doing it, and that's okay. We understand.
Yeah.
So Crossover saying we just got you shared out. Well, thank you very much. And you can see we have the overlay right to our right so you all can see yourselves. That's why your questions are always seen, and we make sure we tag the questions, and it's not hidden. This show's about you guys and giving you a voice and letting you hear and speak and be able to be seen. Oh, the other frog brother just jumped in. Yes, he did. Let me set up this right here so people can see our show for the evening. And who do we got going on? Of course, that's right. We'll be bringing him on in just a few minutes. Robert Odell is in the house, the other half of the Blood Brothers. Ribbit. Hello, everyone from the bunker in Bon Air. He has risen. Yes. And if feel it, chase
it. Chase it. That's what he means.
Jamming on some coffee. Amen to that one.
Uh-oh.
Coffee
We're in
right
trouble.
Yeah, got a little bit going on here. I pulled out the Notorious Cup for Robert. I want to acknowledge all our brother Sean Elliott from Hill City Paranormal is in the house as well. Thank you, brother, man. Happy Easter to all of you. Hello. And I just want to acknowledge Crossover. Thank you for being here. We don't get to see you enough. We love seeing you here, and thank you for being here. Same thing with all of you, all of your support. We have a really wonderful show tonight. It's only going to be an hour long because we're playing double duty. I will be on the second as much as I can, but this is my first time in almost 6 weeks being home. So I may just let Rhonda and Ryan go to it, but I think it's going to be a great show. So tune in at 9 p.m. to the Freaking Awesome Paranormalist. You're going to love this show. You really are. Especially if you're into rock and the crazy movies of the 80s, you're going to love this show. Also, last thing to get on the business, get ready. It's right around the corner. 385 episodes. Our 8th year anniversary kicks off next Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll go on and on and on. We have a lot of great guests that will be joining us, co-host, if you will, past co-host, people here on the network and people from other networks and guests. So tune in to next Sunday's 385th episode, the 8th year of the Orion Effect. What am I doing? So, yes, I'm
If
excited.
anything else, I know you have a plan.
I have something in the works. I do. And speaking of, one of our past hostesses of the show, she's on right now, Ariana Cherry. We call her Cherry Bomb. Anna, thank you for showing up tonight and thank you for being here. I look forward to speaking with you and you hanging out with us next Sunday. Yeah. We're gonna dive back for 8 years into the vault of things going on. I know, right? She's like, not possible. 8 years. Yes. Yeah, it's been 8 years. Thanks for watching RNN, where they challenge your mind. Weekend, yes. Happy Hagan in Japan. Hopefully I said that right.
Nice.
Yes. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you, Irene.
See you, Irene.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is going to be, yeah, there he is. She's like, fun. I'll be there. Oh, yeah. So this is going to be an interesting show because we have someone that's been a staple here of the travelers, and he's from the coming from the downland under.
No, you might notice he's not in the
And
chat
I-
because he's in the green room.
No, that's right. He's in the green room. He will be with us momentarily. We're about to bring him on in just a second. But we definitely wanted to acknowledge everybody here and thank you so much for spending your Easter Eve or your. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Irene. I really am. Ahagan, Ohegan. I can't.
Give us the
know
phonetics,
where-
Irene, so we know how to say it.
Yeah, and that would be great, Rhonda. Great point. What's
Like,
the phonetics on
How
that?
do we say it? Look,
Yes.
see, we're challenging our minds over here, our own minds.
I'm all about it. You know, I love the Asian culture, but
Konnichiwa.
Kenny.
Konnichiwa, Japan.
Oh, that's hello.
That's not
dude.
what she said.
I didn't think that's spelled right. Konnichiwa. Or maybe it's spelled right. I don't know. Kenny might be on
Did you Google that, Robert?
it. If you did, I'm proud of you. So, without any further ado, while we wait, I think we should go ahead and bring our brother from
do it.
another mother down under. Let's get him ready. But you know what that means? We must.
You have to have a consulting
to-
session.
That's right. Yeah, and we got to make sure it is all good. Let us get that set here for you guys. Good evening, Doctor. My friend, would you like to introduce Mr. White?
Yes, my dear fellow traveler, the stage is set and the mysteries await. As the curtain rises and the stars align, we welcome you to tonight's journey into the unknown. Our guest this evening is a man who's no stranger to the otherworldly and the cryptic. Robert White, hailing from the distant shores of Australia, has ventured deep into the realms of the paranormal, cryptids, and spiritual phenomena. His vast experience in these fields has made him an invaluable figure in the community, and his knowledge is ever expanding. But Robert is not just a seeker of the unseen. He's also an accomplished business owner, running his own stone business, where he harnesses the power of minerals and stones to bring balance and healing to the world. A true pioneer, a scholar of the ethereal, and a man of many talents, Robert White brings his unique insights and wisdom to us tonight. So sit back, open your mind, and prepare to delve deep into the unexplained. Ladies and gentlemen, the floor is now his, Robert White. Gallifrey falls no more.
Gallifrey falls no more. Thank you, my time-traveling brother.
Hello, people.
Hello,
the future.
hello.
It's morning here.
Gallifrey falls no more, my dear friend. Always a pleasure to serve alongside you on this grand adventure through time and mystery.
Oh,
Not a problem, Doctor.
yes, yes. Bringing him into the fold, I think, has really added a twist, Robert. And thank you, brother, for being here and taking the time on your Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Your Monday. Let those know that they're like almost, well, you're almost a whole 12 or 13 hours ahead of us.
It's 9:15 in the morning.
Mm.
Yep.
Woo!
So 14 hours ahead of us.
You got your coffee?
Haven't had it yet, but
Oh, yep. It's coming. It's coming. So, brother, thank you so much again for coming on with Rhonda and I. It's been a long time overdue.
yeah,
Overdue.
it sure is.
So, we'll dive into some paranormal tonight, some general
Mm-hmm.
conversation.
Yeah.
You know, I thought this would be a really comfortable show uh,
Mm-hmm.
for us two to get with you tonight on this holiday eve, and I was like, this is perfect. We're not ending; we're almost at the end because we have
Mm-hmm.
one more member of Things that will be joining us next month,
Mm-hmm.
Adrian. But to finally have you on, since you've been such a magnificent traveler.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Your support has been uh, beyond breathtaking. And I just want to be able to finally say that to you. And thank you very much for your support that you've given us years.
You're welcome. Definitely welcome.
You have any questions for us? Anything you want to jump into tonight?
No, not really. Just whatever you're wanting to ask, I'll see if I can answer.
Oh, there we go. Well, we're going to have to definitely sit down at this cosmic coffee table and talk shop, shall we?
Mm. Yep.
One of the
And
things, go ahead.
I think it's O'Higgin that
Oh,
Ari was
Vegan.
saying. I think
thank you.
she hasn't said anything yet though, so can't tell.
I didn't want to mispronounce it, but I love the fact that so many cultures are getting involved, and
Mm-hmm.
we're seeing more and more of other holidays from around the world that may not
Mm-hmm.
even have anything to do with said this religion or that
Yep.
religion. But it seems like everybody's coming together and we're all celebrating together, or whichever it may be. And I think that's a beautiful thing. So.
Mm-hmm. Most
Uh,
definitely.
Speaking of that, Robert, what kind of holidays do y'all have how is y'all's holiday set up comparatively to, say, United States? Is it still like a Christian base, or is it, because I know you have several different cultures mixes down there as well. I
Yeah,
have
it's a bit of a
girlfriends.
muddle. It's a bit of a muddle actually. There's a lot of different cultures altogether. In this region, there's not a whole lot, but down south further, like Brisbane and Sydney, Melbourne especially, that has a lot of cultures there all combined. But up here in Queensland, there's some that are religious, but not overly.
Okay.
Um, yeah, personally, I don't really follow the the whole religion type stuff, but a lot do. So I'm not putting any dispersions against it.
Yeah.
For each their own.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think we find a little bit of some religion in every other religion.
Yep,
So why could religion in itself not be wrong?
Right.
exactly.
Something people should open up to and think about. I think we know right from wrong, and our belief. But I also believe in the great Creator.
Mhm.
Uh, I've taken on the idea that what we were taught is not necessarily true. I think it's much greater than we anticipated. I think uh, or feel faithfully, maybe, uh, that what we have come to know in society is now being opened wider and wider as we find the true history of not just America, but of the world. The whole world is opening up to new and greater historic moments and things. How do y'all feel about that one?
Yeah, it's always going to be an expanding process. People will eventually have their minds open to a point where they'll start actually listening and accepting what's out there, and not just going flatline on one certain thing. So hopefully hopefully it won't be too long before we can all be together as one unit, basically, and not have to start wars and compete over financial type stuff to be what they want to be, and not higher up or lower down and all that sort of thing.
I think we need to really reach that. I think that's what this world does, and everybody wants to. And you guys jump in here, but I think the world's scared of the word NWO, so it kind of freaks them out. But I think we've been misled about a lot of things to scare us away from the future. What's your thought? I mean, go ahead, Rhonda, hit me up with that. What's your thought?
I think it was a very good tale of where things are going right here in RVA today.
Okay.
So, of course, this is Easter Sunday, and if you partake, you partake. If you don't, you don't. There, that's your vibe.
Right.
What I noticed today, and it made me really enjoy today more, was seeing how many businesses have actually closed for it. I'm talking restaurant, stores, so that people can celebrate. As well as on this very same day, RVA Witches had their festival and market out at Diversity Thrift from 12 to 6. So you had two totally different things all being able to celebrate and do what they wanted to. And I was curious because I know how we can be here, or how people can be. So I was wondering, are we going to see anybody picketing this witches thing because it's Easter? Are we going to see? And it was nothing. So I think that's kind of just telling to where we're headed, where everybody can celebrate whatever they want to, and have it actually recognized where you can take that time off to do that if you want to.
And not just a Christian holiday.
Yes.
You know what? You guys, you know what that deserves? That deserves a huge, huge I 100% completely agree with you, Rhonda. I think we're seeing that around the world. I think it's almost time where religion needs to stop being the forefront of a war. I think it's time that if there's conflict, give it a good reason to have the conflict, not on personality and faith and belief.
Exactly.
I'm saying that out loud. I can't believe
And
it.
and I feel like some people today were evidently, I don't know what they were doing because everybody was doing their own thing. But what I noticed was there weren't a lot of people on the roads, which there probably is, like if you're on the highways because people are starting to travel back. But just around town, it was quiet. So people are enjoying whatever it is they want to today.
I think
and maybe it's just the fact that it was an 80-degree day and they were out at the parks doing whatever it is. Maybe they were welcoming spring in, whatever it is you want to do, and nobody was really saying anything about it. So I thought it was cool. Today was one of those where I actually stepped back and noticed, wow, there's a shift.
Yes, there's definitely a shift. And speaking of that, I wanted to bring that to Robert. And are you feeling that? Are you feeling the shift? Are you seeing that down in the land down under right now?
Yeah, it's apparent if you know how to look, know where to look. Some people don't, but some people do. Well, people like me can detect that sort of stuff. I don't know whether it's because I've got so many of the different crystals and stones that I use, or if it's just the awakening of different things or not. And for the NWO that you were talking about, that dissolved. I thought that dissolved with WWF.
That was good. That was good. And then, what? It makes you wonder if that's why it was created subconsciously to throw
Maybe.
people off.
Mhm.
It's something that was thrown in your face if you're a wrestling fan back in the day. And
Mhm.
did it make it easier? I mean, look, we have groups running around, and I'm going to go there. We have groups running around right now calling them an organization that's been around for thousands of years, and they don't even know the reason behind it. Let's look at, we have a group running around in our modern society called the Illuminati.
Mhm.
Hmm.
They are nothing of the Illuminati.
Nope.
They do not act like the Illuminati. Um, and they don't even understand the basis of, in my opinion,
Mhm.
I could be wrong. They don't act in the actions of said Illuminati.
Mhm.
And it's really sad because the Illuminati in the day, okay, how do y'all feel about this? Let's put it like this. The Illuminati came together because they were cast out of the church because they believed in science.
Mhm.
They believed in thought process and free thought. But also, they saw how the church was controlling the masses through its own development.
Mhm.
Okay? I'm not talking now, you guys. I'm talking then. So please work with me here. So, in this, did they make threats? It's supposedly a threat that was based against the church, but it was to release the power from the people for the people. Sound familiar? So, with this, you had unique individuals a part of the Illuminati. Isaac Newton, your Renaissance artist, wink, wink. You had these amazing people that came together because they still believed in the notion, the belief of the great creator or of a god, but they also knew there was ways they could explain it comparatively to what just a book said.
Right.
And what do you guys think about that one? I mean, what's your input on that? I mean, and how has that influenced the paranormal today? Oh,
Mhm.
wrestling.
I'm sitting here thinking about that because you just tied it all up in a little bow.
Mhm. Previously,
Oh,
the Illuminati had been a great power, but as you said just before, that it's been diminishing down because people don't know what they're really going after, and yeah, it's basically a watered down version now than what it had been.
okay, watered down version. All right, let's
Mm.
go with that. Now, let me, but and Rob, we're going to come to that. That's because I was going to talk to him because I actually have a friend uh, by the name of Destiny who has Aborigine background, and she's not too far from you, uh, Robert. So
Mhm.
yeah, we're going to talk about that. However, it does watered down. I don't know if it would be watered down or watered down to a violent state.
Hmm.
We don't even know. Hey, Kev, we don't even know the intent of this group. We don't know who's involved. Okay, we don't know
Mhm.
if they're part of the Templars. We don't know if they're a part of the Masons. Yeah, I'm just going to throw it all out there, folks. Let's just get with it. We don't even know if they're a part of the Grove.
I bet
Okay,
they're part of all of it.
could they be all part of all of it? Maybe there's a individual in each one of these groups attempting to control the masses so there's not mass chaos. Okay, there are people with lots of money that want to control the world.
Mhm.
Okay, We know Locust Grove. We know what's taken out there. What's the agenda of that particular? We hear the fact that stars are just prompt to control us, to take our attention away from the greater. I don't know. I don't know about that. No, I don't know yet. My jury's still out. But I want to get y'all's opinions about this, because to become one, which means you need to live without chaos, without thought of aggression, without the thought of let's just blow everything up that's in front of us and then we'll ask questions later. I think this is why other life forms, beings in the universe don't really want to come here right now. I wouldn't. We're the ghetto of the universe, okay? Let's be honest about that. Now, speaking of that, there's been a lot of sightings. I know, I got you. You keep thinking, Rhonda, because keep
My brain won't shut up now.
I'm in one of those moods. So, with Robert, you being down in the land down under and where you are at, there has been a lot of documented, noted events your way as far as UAPs, UFOs, and alien contact. That's including a school about 50 years ago that had an encounter and your government tried to cover it up.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yep.
What's your thought about that and where this may play into religion? You see what I just did there?
Well, I know for a fact there's a few places that I've actually been to that were sightings, areas that were sightings. Up in far north Queensland, there's a place called Tully, and they have the information boards that people can come and have a look at that explain that there was a saucer ship in one of the fields, the farmer's field, that lifted off and just took off like they do. And the farmer actually saw this craft, went over to where it had been, and there was a big circular depression in the ground, and he marked it down and took all the readings and everything from it, like size, width, depth, and kept that on record. And they made the place basically a site for tourists to go to now. So there's definitely been quite a few of the sightings in the areas. Like that's about 1,000 kilometers up north from here, but still, it's one of the areas. Even in this area, I have seen something that I can't explain what it is outside of basically the middle of Rockhampton. It was, I doubt it was a drone, because drones aren't supposed to be operated in Rockhampton because it's in the flight path of aircraft. But there was something that I saw definitely that was floating around. It was lit up, didn't make a noise, so I don't know if it might have been a drone or not, but it was definitely unidentified to me. So, yeah, there's been quite a few different places I've been to. Down in, where was it? Between a place called Tullamore and Parkes. Parkes is where they had the radio dish that helped with the landing of or the space missions out in towards the moon. But there was something out there that actually followed me in my car. I was alone in the car, driving from Parkes back to Tullamore, which is about an hour drive, and it was a blue light that kept pace with me as I was driving along, and I was going about 100 kilometers an hour, so 60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be anything that would be natural.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way you said that. I like that terminology, natural. Good one. Good one. All right, so let me ask you this, Robert. Would you consider that ufology, or would that have been paranormal? Or can you define that?
Well, there are places here in Australia that they have things that follow people. Hi, Catherine. That follow people along it's the Northern Territory, I believe, and they call them the Min Min lights.
Okay.
The truckers going along those routes, they'll have things follow them like what followed me in that section of road, and they have no explanation. They just have lights following them, and there's no helicopters, no jet planes, nothing like that. It's just a natural, it might be a natural phenomenon, but who knows? It's something that can't be explained.
All right, so bringing that up, see, oh, I'm on it tonight, y'all. So now we'll bring this to both of you. So with saying that, if there is no shape and it's merely what seems to be energy or color or light, doesn't that put that in the spectrum of the paranormal, not necessarily ufology?
Mm-hmm. It would.
Yeah, I would think so.
I was ready for tonight, just letting y'all know.
I mean, because man, but if you think about it, now like that is just like that fine line, like where it crosses over. Because if you look like unidentified flying object or something like, so you've got something in the air, but I guess you don't really know if it's flying. You can either make an assumption or you don't.
Perception.
So it's that fine line where they cross over, right? Or they become one and the same.
Objects in the rear view mirror may appear closer than they are. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Or further away. Again,
exactly.
Perception.
Right.
It's intriguing. And I'm going to share this with you guys since we're talking about this. Because I had something happen yesterday morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll get your guys' thoughts on this. I was up at 4:30. I had to work early morning shift before I came home.
Mm-hmm.
So at 6:22, I came around from the back of the house, through the gate, down the driveway towards my vehicle was parked outside the road. There's pictures, and I drew a sketching of it on my wall. What I saw kind of caught me off guard. I didn't think two things of it until moments later, and I went, what am I seeing? It looked like a bar of light in the sky. First, I thought it was a star. I looked to my right, and the moon was to the right.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about, it was pre-dusk, so it was still light, but the sun was not crescent yet. I put my stuff in my trunk of my car because I couldn't get the camera out right away because my hands were all filled. Always. Isn't that ironic, you guys? Your hands or something is always there.
They are.
Yeah, right?
What happens when you're not recording?
Yeah, and see, this is the thing I wanted to talk about tonight too, y'all, how interesting this is. And get Robert's opinion, especially down in Australia, of these thoughts. We're sharing world thought now, not just United States, not just Virginia. We're world right now. So I set all my stuff down. I walked to the back to exactly where I was, where I saw this. Okay. By the way, for those who are in Virginia and know, there wasn't a cloud in the sky yesterday morning. It was perfect overcast. Slight haze, but perfect overcast.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing there. It was gone. It was gone. It's very intriguing. I'm scientific, so I started breaking that shit down. Okay. I thought maybe it was discharge of the ions in the atmosphere, maybe giving off a glow. I even went as far as could a contrail be reflecting from the sun that's crescenting? Could. And I've talked to a lot of ufologists in the last 12 hours. And no. It's intriguing to me now. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because you just talked about the lights.
Mm-hmm.
You were discussing the lights. You guys, I had this. I wanted to share it with you tonight and get your thoughts on it and get your opinions of what may be. And have either one of you seen this phenomenon?
I have a question though. So, what did you see? Like a silver? Like, did you see light at all?
This is interesting because Kenny asked me. You know, Kenny grilled me.
Well,
He
yeah,
grilled
and
me.
I have reasons I'm asking that too, as somebody who's, I mean, I'm almost a miler air traveler.
Okay.
I've almost flown 1,000,000 miles. So I have some theories too that could be.
Okay. Let
but
me give you the
that's why I was
basis.
asking, like, what color was your, like, was it like a silver flash or a white flash, or what were you seeing?
What I saw seemed to be brilliant white, like an LED bar that was put up in the sky. I would say, as far as, okay, Robert, I know you're not going to know this, but Rhonda, the distance
Okay.
from Highland Springs to maybe over Charles City or maybe a little further.
Okay.
Okay. No shape at all. It if you take a pin and it was nothing but light,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
it never moved. There wasn't this.
Right.
It wasn't this.
Right.
There was no angle. It was perfectly horizontal. And that's kind of what caught me. But what caught my attention is when I walked back 30 seconds later, it was gone. It was 62 degrees, and we were at low humidity. So I do believe the humidity was at 38, 42 to 38. I do believe that's what I told Robert. The barometric pressure was at 29.6. I did all the work. And I can't see where a natural phenomenon could have been, but it's I can't deny that. So I was like, well, let me talk to you guys about it tonight. Have you experienced it? What's your thoughts on this? Especially you guys see different than we do down in Australia, Robert. So I'm like, get your opinion. Rhonda, you were here.
Right.
You, like you said, you fly a lot.
Yeah.
Opinions. Let's talk about this for a minute, because now we're talking about a generation of people coming together from around the world once again.
Well, my opinion, that whatever it might have been would probably just have been up there, looking down, pointing, saying, "Hey kids, come over, look at this. Let's show him off what we can do," and then just disappear. Engage the cloak.
It's almost like, I wonder, you have to wonder if they can see us, right?
Yeah.
Like, yep, somebody noticed us. Whoop! Let's see if they see us. Oh, they did.
Okay, that's a valid point, but okay. Now, how many of us noticed it and seen
the same thing at the
we're
same
talking
time?
we're talking 35, 40 miles away. But up in an by the way, for those who may ask, the angle was at a 47-degree pitch. So, giving you that, we did learn some stuff from Les Durant, and I've learned. And Robert again said, "What was your pitch level? What was this?" And I
Right.
gave it. I did learn a lot from Les about observing in distance, so that was pretty cool. It was intriguing. It's funny that you guys say, well, maybe they want to say we're here. Now, here's the ironic part, too, is not much further past there, Williamsburg, Virginia, had an experience over the summer where there were circular clouds that were hovering over the town for long periods of time. They tried to disclaim it. They said it's this, that, and the fifth. But if you go back and look at records, you could see there was no fireworks laid off that year or that time. There was no detonation of dynamite. Everything they tried to cover it up with, there was nothing. It's intriguing. So here we are in the same direction, looking in the same direction, and I see this. So that's why I was like, let me see what you guys think. So, Rhonda,
So from somebody who flies a lot, this is all I can say, because having been in the air when it's really clear, you do see planes that are very close to you or even far away. Like while you're in the sky, you see them like they're there. One thing I will say is sometimes I don't see the plane, I see a flash. And when I do see the plane, sometimes I don't see the tail wing or the wings. It's just cylinder like.
Right.
All
Okay.
I can see.
I agree.
Now, if you're saying it was clear, even though the sun is just crescenting, they do. So there could be enough light to reflect. So if there was a plane and it was at the right angle, you might not see with a little bit of haze and that sunshine reflecting off of it. If it was like an American Airlines is like silver, like metallic silver. So you would catch the exact angle. The only other thing, and this is just like, I'm not saying this is what it was, is a lot of people don't realize there are many times when you're flying, something comes about. It can either be when you're getting ready to land. It could even be when you're approaching another airport and they're trying to land something else. You don't always circle while you wait to go in.
Right.
Like people always assume like you'll just circle the airport till it's your time. You will hover and you do not move. Like you sit still and you do not move. You hover in one place.
No, wait. We're talking an airplane can't hover.
It does hover. It does not move. It most certainly does.
Okay, explain how that's possible.
I don't know how it does, but we do not move.
Really? Now that makes me wonder if it's a reverse effect of what we see like at Washington's airports, where it looks like the plane is not moving at all, but yet it is moving because the angle, blah blah blah.
You just hover, because they're waiting. They don't want you circling because they're trying to clear something or there's something going on. So you're really just kind of sitting there waiting. Now you might be back and forth like to a such degree that you can't see it. But you're not like flying up, flying back, flying like there. It's very still.
Okay. Well, there you go. These are some.
So that doesn't mean that's what it is. I'm sure you are moving some, but you are like you will just stand, because I've seen them almost landing. I always laugh because somebody's like, "Why is that plane just sitting there?" Because they're low enough when you're at R that they're just sitting there. I'm like, they're waiting for something. They're either waiting for somebody to take off, they're waiting for somebody to get out of the way, they're waiting to do something.
Right.
Because I've been it when it was not me. We were just sitting there. Because I've had them say, if you're wondering why we're waiting to land. So that's all I can say.
Well, I think that's a valid, good point, Rhonda. I really do. I think that was well thought out, and I never thought about that. And I did not know about that experience because I don't fly.
I don't know if they would call it hovering because you're not really moving.
Right. You're just at a certain point of where you can keep the balance of, and I didn't see what Keith said, Brother Keith.
Right.
It's like, it's not hovering, but it's enough point that you can keep stable.
Like you're kind of, you might be shifting, but you're not trajecting, if you will.
No.
I don't know what they call
similar
it.
To the way the hawks can just basically stay in the air, just adjusting the wings a little bit, and they'll not drop.
Yeah.
We're getting the thermals from underneath.
Now, what I found curious was the fact of the time of day you said it was. It would be very rare at RIR that they would, or RIC, that they would have much. The only air traffic they have at that kind of time of day, because I think the first flight leaves at like 5:30, and the planes that are leaving at 5:30 are already there and on the ground. So the only thing I mean, the only flight coming or going would be freighter planes
Okay.
that are bringing it, like FedEx, UPS, things like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, gotcha.
Unless there was something everybody was just kind of stuck for some other reason, it doesn't make sense you would see something waiting to land
Yeah,
or waiting for something to get out of the way at that time of day. That does not make sense.
that
Mm.
perfect, perfect. Robert, what about down there? Have you what about the phenomenon that takes place down there? And what do you think about this point of view? And but we're going to get to some points that are being made. Y'all, we're this this show needs to go another hour. We can't do that tonight, but we're
But we
going
can
to
have
have our.
Robert back.
Oh yeah, we're having our brother from another mother return, without a shadow of a doubt, because we need to get into some paranormal Australia. We need to get into some
Yeah.
supernatural, because my brother just brought up the Aborigines, and I'm like, oh
Mhm.
yeah, we're going to talk about that, and I will, maybe we can get Destiny to come on with you if she's not working. I think that would be great. You can meet Destiny, Rhonda. You can
Yeah.
meet Destiny, and maybe she can give us some point from the Aborigine
Ooh,
medicine.
yeah.
Mhm.
Wonderful lady. So, what would you, if you saw that, Robert, down in Australia, what would you think?
I'd think it would either be something military type of craft, like a jump jet, which
Okay.
could hover like that,
Yeah.
or something coming to visit.
Okay.
Right. Right.
Okay.
That's a good point that they could have been doing something like that time of day. It's the
Mm.
time of day for me because it's not like at that time of morning, like that airport is dead, like dead until like 5. People are coming to get on their flights, but it's not like flights are coming in and people are then waiting to get on that plane. The planes are already grounded by that point.
Okay.
They're all
Well,
waiting for their first passengers.
that also could be something that it might have been. If, as you say, the area was dead, it might have been something up there like souls lit up, uh,
Oh,
ghosts. Yeah.
the souls makes a lot of sense because a
Mm.
lot of times when you do see depictions of souls, that's what it looks
They're
like.
just a lit up. Yeah.
Yes.
You guys are
Yes.
using my theory against me. Damn, that was
Yeah,
beautiful.
souls.
That was
That's
absolutely
interesting. Hey,
beautiful.
that makes me laugh. It's like, can souls talk to the
Bravo.
Because it might have been a flight that had fallen and they just don't know it and they're just sitting up there waiting to land.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that's true. Like, I'm going to give y'all a funny though. Y'all were talking about the blue lights. So
Mm.
Yep.
yesterday I'm coming back from Fredericksburg, and there's a car in front of me, and it was overcast. This is probably 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but then it was overcast here. So
Mhm.
about an hour north of where I live, I'm coming back south, and I keep seeing these blue lights in the car,
Mhm.
and then I start looking at all other cars, and I see this reflection of a blue light, and I was like, "What is happening? Something's happening."
Look
And
at
then
that.
I remembered I had polarized sunglasses on.
Oh
It
no.
was making the sun that under
Mhm.
overcast reflecting
Yeah.
on the cars. It was
Yep.
making it
Made it look
blue
blue.
through my
Yep.
sunglasses.
That's awesome.
I thought something was happening important.
Oh my goodness. Look, I'm not going to go back to when we were teenagers, but that when you were just talking right there, the way you did it, I was like, so that's the way you used to look.
I was sitting there going, "What are all these blue lights? What is happening?"
That's too
And I was like,
much.
and I
Too
went like
much
this, and I
That
was like,
stuff.
"It's
Go
my
on.
It's
sunglasses."
ah. That's great.
Oh,
All right, well, let me get to this real quick. We'll get to these and then come back to that. My
Mhm.
experience was in mid 70s. Luckily, I was with a handful of other people so that they could verify. It was like an age white, okay, light, soft, light egg shape moving about 50 feet off the treetops going over a valley. We were within 1 mile or less, a straight line of sight. We were descending a hill while it was crossing over a valley. We all stopped There was no sound, too low to be at a hot air balloon, no noise to be a helicopter. My guess, the light radiated in this egg shape for at least 22 to 30 yards. Interesting. That was that. Of course, I was reading Biff. Biff was actually Biff. Hello, it's good to see you. Happy Easter. Um, Definitely want to. I see that we're getting a
That's
little bit of
cool.
shout outs. Yep. Um, Robert says, "I'm not getting older like this, mistress. I stole what? Matrix?
Matrix.
Yeah, Matrix. I stole
Matrix.
from your roommate back in Boulder." Well, now that I know what that happened, all right. Um, Everybody's giving high fives or saying yes. Steve also comes by and says, "I forgot to mention it could not have been moving more than 8 miles
Ooh,
per hour." Okay, well there you go.
that's really interesting.
Face to face sends up the what's up, the pinky wave. Uh, and thanks, Robert. Appreciate it. Thanks, y'all. Thanks, Robert. Thanks, RN Syndrome. Hey, I get you there, brother, man. Absolutely. Now, maybe we can revisit what he had placed here because, again, we just touched on it. He did say something about Aborigines down in your area, and then again, how how much does the Aboriginal belief come into the regular culture, or is it like down there? Is it all just one?
It depends where you are, because I've been down to places that the Aboriginals consider sacred sites, and there's definitely a feel to the place that it's tangible. Like I've been down to a place called The Rocks in Nimbin, and we actually were given permission to stay there for a little while. And it's just a structure of rocks that are up on a hill, but the way they're sort of set out, it makes you think that it could have been placed there by something.
Okay.
And yeah, there was definitely something to it. There was it made when you were living there, it made you feel like you were being watched, but not in a bad way. But it was like they were guarding over whatever they could see. And I I managed to get up there at one point in time and take some photographs of the surrounding area, and you can see pretty much everything in the valley. And because Nimbin is basically a extinct volcano that they've made the town in, so it's basically a crater that hardly any radio waves or telephone waves can get to, because we had to go out and physically buy a new set of phones to be able to work there, because the ones we had wouldn't work in that area.
Gotcha.
So,
That kind of sounds like our. That kind of sounds like our Devil's Mountain, actually, a little bit. So that's interesting. You see that mountain actually in Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
the big tree stump.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Wow. Okay, that's probably. It's been a long time, but this has been the fastest show that we have had in a long time.
And we didn't even BS a lot before the show. So
No, and that's
we
the
jumped like
crazy.
right in.
So, Brother Robert, you down to be rescheduled too, and then come back and join us again?
Definitely.
Travelers and those alike, we thank y'all so much. We would have extended the show, but like I said, we're playing double duty tonight, and it's a holiday, and we want to make sure everybody gets the rest. We want to thank you, Robert, for taking the time and coming on, and hopefully you'll continue. We love talking to you, your family. You are a traveler.
Yes.
You know. Thank you so much. Again, tune in next Sunday for the 385th episode of the Orion Effect. Years. It will be really good, and hopefully my plans come through. You know that, right? Other than that, stay tuned. The Freaking Awesome playlist will air in 1 hour. 1 hour
YouTube.
on YouTube only. YouTube only. But check it out. We are doing our favorite soundtracks of the 80s. And you may not want to miss this. So, indeed. Robert, thanks again. I hope you have a wonderful week, brother, man. I appreciate you.
I hope you two do as well.
Thank you, brother. Travelers and those like, enjoy your holiday, enjoy your evening. Stay tuned. Come in and hang out with us in an hour. Listen to some reflective music. Get back in the past, bring it to the future.
Back to your youth.
That's right. Back to the future. Yeah, back to your youth. That's a song out there. I know it's out there. But also, as we talked about at the beginning of the show, it's time for us all to come together, set aside our beliefs, set aside our religion, set aside because you're seeing it every day. People are mistreating and disrespecting each other. Stop it.
Right. Worry about yourself, not what other people are doing. Stay in your lane.
Stay in your spiritual lane.
That's
Amen,
right.
sister.
There's actually a sign that I saw just recently saying they want us to fight each other. Don't let them win.
Yes. Yes. I agree with that.
Exactly.
I agree with that.
I agree. And on that note, travelers and those like, we will see you in an hour. And tune in next Sunday. Again, 385th episode. The Orion Effect turns 8 years old. Bam! Check it out.
We're almost a preteen.
We're almost there. We'll see y'all soon. May virtue be yours.
Bye, everyone.